What is going on, my fellow stackers? It's your boy AG Stacking, and I'm here to explain once again what a hollow chain is. Every time I post hollow chains for sale, I always get the question, what do you mean by hollow chains? I didn't know there was a difference. Yes, there are hollow, there are semi-hollow, and then there are solid chains, and each one has a different price point based on the weight. So a solid chain is basically a rod that's solid gold, whether it's 10 karat, 14, 18, 22, or 24 karat. It's a solid rod. So you basically have, let's say this piece of paper and is just completely solid. You have this little tube here, and the whole thing is just solid one piece. And then it gets bent, and you make the loops, and you make whatever link you want to make. Now, hollow is, say you have this sheet right here, the rod is like this. So you have this soldered, and you have all this space here that is hollow. There's air here, but you have this tube that has pocket of air inside. So that makes it weigh less, making it have less gold or silver if you're going for a silver chain. So it costs a lot less because there's less gold in it. Now a semi-hollow is basically just a thicker layer of a thicker rod, but it still has a gap in between. So instead of one sheet, you have multiple sheets, and you put them together, the rim or the rod is a lot thicker. So on a semi, it has a little more weight, it's a little more sturdier, a little thicker. So you have it costs a little more because it's a little heavier, and again it's a little sturdier compared to the hollow. You could damage it fairly easy if you're throwing it around. You leave it on the counter, somebody brings something and lays it on top of it. It could smash it and dent it, depending on the style of chain. But if you're wearing it on a day-to-day basis, I mean, you ain't gonna do nothing to it unless you're leaning on something crazy, but for the most part, if you're just wearing it like any average chain, you won't be able to tell the difference. So basically that's what it is. It's a rod that has pocket of air inside it. The big difference is, this is a solid chain, 24 karat, 24 inches, 14 karat, 5 millimeters thick. This is 49.2 grams. This is a 5.2 millimeters, a little thicker than this one. 14 karat, 24 inches, but this one weighs 13.5 grams. Now you put them on, you wear them, you can't tell the difference. You don't know which one's solid, which one's hollow. But the one that's 49 grams is going to cost you almost $1,900. The melt value on this alone right now is $1,878 just in gold. Now you got to think about the cost, per gram for labor. It's going to cost you a lot more than that. This one that's 13.5 grams is a hollow chain, 5.2, a little thicker, but almost the same. Is $515 in melt value. So a big difference, $500 to $1,900. It depends what you can afford. If you just want a chain because you want to throw a pendant that that somebody passed down to you, but you can't afford something solid, a hollow chain is just fine, or a semi-hollow. You put it on, you can wear it. Or if you just want a chain in general but don't have the money, you don't want to spend so much, I mean, you can get fat ones for a lot less. You can get a way thicker one that's hollow for the same price as this one, but it's gonna look big on you. It's just the price in gold. So people choose the hollow stuff because it's cheaper, it's more affordable, but it looks fancy, it looks big on you. It looks like you got you're wearing a $1,000 chain when you spent a couple $100. And nowadays a lot of people, it's just looks. If you can afford to get a solid, some people think it's a better investment. In my opinion, it is, but you're putting a lot of money on it. If someone comes and steals a $2,000 chain off you versus a $500 chain, you ain't gonna be hurting so bad. if you have a hollow. But that's the difference between the two. Is just basically a solid rod versus a hollow or a semi-hollow rod. But it's all gold. It's real gold. It's just affordable and a little more expensive. So hopefully that helps and that explains a bit more into what a hollow and a solid chain is. And that way you can make your decision based off of that or what you can afford. So thanks for watching. Appreciate you, and hopefully this helped you out. Share it with people that maybe had the same question. Thank you guys.